Okay, so I think some of the next little tips here that we put out, or videos or ideas, thoughts that I'm going to share with you guys is going to be a little bit less of me showing you things and just a little bit more of me talking. So deal with my monotone voice a little bit here. One thing I'm just going to start talking about first off is just like what the accessory work is and kind of why it's there. So generally speaking, what we tend to do is take 6 accessory components, if you will, and try and repeat them over the course of our 6-week cycle, so Monday to Saturday. The reason we try and repeat them is so this way you guys remember what they are, kind of get a grasp of kind of being why you're doing it, and maybe see a benefit from doing it. It might be a little bit more beneficial to say, hey, every day has its own unique accessory component, but that does limit our ability to, take time in a class, because now we have to say, hey, this is allotted in the 60 minutes. The beauty of doing it the way we have it right now is if the 60-minute ends and there's another class starting or there's something else happening in the gym, okay, well, you can just kind of stay off to the side as you would anyway, stretch, whatever, and you've been exposed to the accessory work before, so you don't really have an excuse to not know what it is or to not do it. Now, I know it can be tempting to be like, oh, I'm really tired, I'm just going to go home and eat dinner and go to bed or whatever it is. But keep in mind, the accessory work is there to complement and ensure that the workout is either not going to crush you on your way home, so cool down appropriately, don't just leave and get in your car. Also to complement the other things that we're focusing on the cycle. So I'll just give you an example for next week. So for Monday, July 9th, there's some overhead pressing going on that day. So to finish, we're going to make sure that we're getting in those wall flexion reps that we've been practicing, just to make sure, hey, my shoulders are already warm. Now I'm going to spend some time working on the range of motion, mobility, however you want to word it. And then some wristies there, because again, there is a lot of overhead that day in the sense that push press, it's going to rest in your wrists a little bit. And then there's some push-ups and some burpees. So again, a lot of palm strikes on the floor. So just making sure that those wrists are nice and warm and also cool down at the same time, as if that makes sense. And again, if we look at like Tuesday, July 10th, it's really just arm volume. So again, just extra tricep extensions. So grab a band, tricep extensions. Why we do something like that is, again, it's just a really safe, easy way to get in more volume that doesn't tax your body too much. So if you're like, hey, why aren't I very good at push-ups? Why aren't I very good at dips? We're doing all of this push-up work. Well, the accessory work with the tricep extension is a great way to get in more volume of an elbow extension exercise. Dead bug, everyone needs to do more dead bugs. I'm not going to go through every single one here, but generally if we're running or skipping, you're going to see your Dalsit program, just to make sure your calves, Achilles are getting a little bit of love so they don't get too stiff. Shin splints like that, things over time. Anytime we do a lot of squatting or anything where we've got a high volume of hip extension and deflection over and over and over, you're usually going to see a couch stretch to make sure that the front of the hip doesn't get too crampy, too tight, too stiff at the end of the day, at the end of the workout. The push-up to plank that you're seeing right now is just a really great tool to add in some midline structure there when you might not have a midline programmed on that day. Prone snow angels, again, everyone needs to do more of those, more overhead flexion, And then from there, there's a million different things that we've plugged in. Sometimes we make you stand on one foot. That should be a hard exercise on its own, holding your knee up nice and high. The idea is standing on one foot is a great stability exercise to complement all the squatting you've already done on that day. So what I want you guys to take away from this is accessory work is not there just for the sake of being there. It's there with a thorough and sort of thought out process. Like I said earlier, yes, it could be more specific for every single unique given day, but the system that we have in place has been working for about 2 years now, and a lot of people are valuing the accessory work more now. But what I would challenge you guys to do is do it every day that you come into the gym for the length of a 6-week cycle, and ask yourself how much better you feel coming into the gym the next day. It will be better, you will feel better, and you'll actually get a little bit more out of it, because you won't just be like, oh my God, that crazy workout or that strength session that was so hard really tired me out. I'm just gonna go home and eat a Little Caesars pizza. Okay, so get in the accessory work. It's important to value it. If you're unsure why you're doing something, always ask. There's always gonna be an answer.